Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now with the update that's just come out, by the way, we actually have Vision Deathless added to the game, so we can see his abilities and figure out whether he's going to be any good or how much better he's going to be than Vision and how he's going to look different than Vision. We're going to check out his synergies later on as well, but first things first, let's break down his abilities fully. So his signature ability is quite interesting. So while an opponent is suffering from heal block, Deathless Vision gains extra attack rating, so that's quite neat. About up to 25% of his attack seemingly. For every 4% of the opponent's max health prevented by a heal block, inflict instant degeneration damage, dealing a burst of X amount of damage. So, quite interesting. The more you power drain, the more you instant degen. So effectively, Sig ability is extra damage, which is kind of fine because obviously we are guaranteed to be able to dupe him at some point within the in-game, quests and content. Now let's carry on. Always active. The prowess of becoming deathless has altered Vision, encrypting his complex robotics in darkness, providing full immunity to poison, bleed, and cold snap and frostbite effects. Neat. So you can use him against Iceman, and an extra immunity is nice. Obviously, poison and bleed are the main ones. Cold snap immunity will come into play significantly less often, but it's still nice to have. It's still extra something. Now with phasing, now this is going to be a brand new thing, because obviously both original iterations are very old, and they got added to the game before Miss Mechanic was really kind of invented. And now that's kind of changed. So if Deathless Vision's special attacks reduce the opponent's power below any full bar, gain 1 phase charge, max stacks 5. When Deathless Vision would perform a well-timed block, convert 1 phase charge into a phase passive for 1.5 seconds, causing incoming attacks to have 100% chance to miss. Phase charges cannot be converted while already phasing. Now this could have had 115% chance, just saying. This should have had 115% chance, but obviously a guaranteed way to find openings. It's going to be kind of like with Vision, effectively, where you parry and you're phasing instead, and then you're just hitting them. While phased, Deathless Vision is immune to incoming stun effects. Fair, but it's going to be, tricky to utilize fully because it's only 1.5 seconds. Then, while phased, hits grant 1123 Fury passive for 20 seconds, max stacks 12. So while phased, hits grant. So seemingly it's not whilst you're phasing the hit, while your phase is active and you're hitting your opponent, but you can stack up to 12 of these. In themselves, these Furies are like 10-15%. They're not massive. Like 10-11% by the look of it. But additionally, that can be extra 100% in Fury damage. When an attack misses Deathless Vision, pause all Fury effects for 5 seconds. So you can keep them paused and you can keep them ramping up, which so far seems extremely promising. If activated during opponent's special attack, gain an additional Fury passive. That's quite interesting. So you won't be phasing specials? We'll see how that works exactly. Special attacks. Special attacks hits grant no power to the opponent. If special attack or effect generates a phase charge, inflict a heal block passive for 15 seconds. And it's a passive. That's quite powerful, because there's a lot of abilities that deal with debuffs. But here comes the bad part. Special attack 1 burns up to 35% of a bar of power, dealing direct damage proportionate to the amount lost. So this can only burn 1/3 of a power bar. Special attack 2 burns up to 135% of bar of power, dealing direct damage proportional to the amount lost. Special attack 3 burns up to 200% of a bar of power, dealing direct damage proportional to the amount lost. Gain a phase charge. And this power gain, well, there's no good way to say it. It's kind of shit. It really is. If we compare it to the OG Vision's power gain, look at the tech champions. Where is that Vision OG? I believe was he not available? Whatever. We're gonna take a look at the OG Vision. And that power gain is miles better. Obviously, there's no furies, nothing, but burns up to 39% of the target's max power. So this new power gain is going to be more than 3 times weaker. Special 2 burns up to 100% of the target's max power. This is as well 2.5 times weaker at level 2. And on top of it all, obviously, one of the cool things about Vision was that he was synthesizing extra power, and that helped you power control more, because you get more access to your own special attacks, because periodically you were gaining extra bar power, and that lets you basically spend the entire fight without opponent throwing a special attack. Now with this, I like the idea of Vision with damage. I really do. And I hope it works great. Especially when Awakened, access to that, passive degen burst, passive heal block, it's great. But he doesn't have any extra power gain to begin with. And we all know how big of a difference Vision's Awakened ability makes at this point. Like, whether you have like a 6-star Vision unawakened, maxed out, and then you have a max 6-star Vision, 2 completely different champions. With one, you can effectively be on top of opponent's power at any given time. With the other one, significantly less so. And this already doesn't have that. And that's before you nerf to the ground his power drain, power burn. Now, ultimately, I don't know, even if his damage holds up, I don't know about character. Because he has, in my opinion, completely lost his identity. Unlike the other champions, unlike Deathless Guillotine, who did everything she did before, but did it better, and is still effectively a mediocre champion at best. Deathless King Groot again gained extra damage, lost some healing, but he's still chunky, he still regens, just now he has more damage. Now in Deathless Vision, I feel like they have taken the heart of the character, and I don't know if they have done enough to replace it. That's effectively the big problem here. I think I had very high hopes with Vision Deathless. What I hoped he would be is OG Vision, just slightly more damage. But it's never as simple as come on. And now seemingly what we have is Vision-esque type of champion that doesn't do the one thing we kind of like Vision for, or used to anyways, and has some extra damage. Now, if he has crazy amount of damage and acceptable power control, maybe he's going to be alright. And obviously, I'm not trying to jump to conclusions before actually playing with the character, but design choice wise, this feels off. Like, I already explained how it feels different from the previous Deathless champions. Not that previous Deathless champions have been particularly significant to the game in any meaningful capacity, but this doesn't spring me with confidence. If he has as weak of a power control as it is right now, you probably wouldn't want to necessarily use him as a power control champion, because he doesn't have any extra abilities that let him gain power quicker. So, yeah. Anyways, let's check out his synergy bonuses and then figure it out. So, Vision Deathless with Vision, gaining about power grants precision, buff increasing critical rating by 275 for 8 seconds. 275 is not particularly huge timing increase though. And with Vision burning about power grants 40% fury buff for 8 seconds max. Now, this seems more helpful to OG Vision, to be honest. Now, with Unknown Champion, which is probably going to be the next Deathless champion, start each fight with an indefinite cruelty passive, increasing critical damage rating by 125 for each Deathless champion on the team. This seems quite solid. And then we have Deathless Processor with Vision Deathless. Upon triggering an immunity, burn 50% of bar of power from the opponent, dealing direct damage proportionate to the amount of lost. If this reduces the opponent's power below full bar, gain a phase charge. This ability has 12-second cooldown. Now, this seems like a very, very helpful one. This seems something that could potentially make him viable in alliance wars, for instance, like hazard shift lanes or something. Now, this synergy I do think has quite a lot of promise. And then we just have some visions and a vision where all champions gain some health, nothing significant. So synergy-wise, I'm quite curious how well the Deathless processor is going to work and with who it is going to be, probably the final Deathless champion. But overall, I don't know, we'll see. I feel like they have taken too much of his identity. They have not only taken away, like, because both visions were kind of cool in a sense that at high sig, OG vision, this one, generated a lot of power passively. And if you ever need extra power, you could just wait a bit. And the other vision, the vision Age of Ultron, stole power from opponent based on what you burned. And you still ended up power controlling the whole fight perfectly. Now with this one, it doesn't have any of that extra power gain. I think is kind of probably the missing piece. Because they also, basically nerfed his power gain by a factor of 3. So, what do you guys think? Will Deathless Vision do anything meaningful in the game or not? Meanwhile, though, those are his abilities. That's my opinion about them. And I will catch you guys soon. Bye-bye. Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information